Okay, so I think this is pretty fucking cool. Since I was young, I've always thought of honesty as this kind of black and white thing. You're either an honest person or you're not an honest person. And I never really thought of life in terms of any kind of flexibility. You should strive to be as honest as you can in all domains of your life, or else you're practicing patterns of dishonesty, which is making you a dishonest person. That's not the way it is. What I'm noticing more and more, and this is from a specific example, I'll just tell the story really quick. My HR partner told me to take sick days off and to lie about the fact that I was sick so I could take a vacation since I'm a contractor. In my head, I thought, that's really interesting. I really admire this guy, but he's telling me to lie. And this wasn't self-evident to me. It could be self-evident to most people out there, and I could just be the last one to get the TPS report or the memo or whatever. But honesty exists on a spectrum. In the parts of your life that are unconditional, for instance, your close relationships, like you don't want your father to love you conditionally, or your wife or your girlfriend to love you conditionally. You want it to be as unconditional as possible. In those domains, you should be as unconditional as possible as you can with your honesty, which means that it's not a game. The rules are, I care for you, and I'm not trying to play within any parameters other than the fact that I care for you, and I do that to the best of my ability with no filters. But in other aspects of your life where there's games like a corporate setting or a job setting or sales setting, and if you're anything like me, you've always wondered, like, why are salespeople such fucking liars? But here's the thing. It's because they're playing a game. And if you look deeply into the game that you're playing, particularly in your career, unless it's a career that you've established on your own, you've been able to establish it based on your own honesty and scruples, there is a game that you are playing. And if you're playing that game, that means that you're following specific rules and parameters. And if you exist outside of those parameters, you will be removed from the game. So it's in your best interest to learn the rules of the game. And oftentimes the rules of the game aren't in line with the unconditional rules that you try to live up to in your personal life. And that's something you have to accept in order to move forward into the world and to individuate yourself. So if you're going to play the corporate game, or whatever game that you are playing, the game of life for the most part, then you're going to have to learn where your truth is greater than the truth that is projected upon you by your culture or by the rules of whatever system you're participating in. For instance, if you get old, right, and you're gonna die, and you decide to put everything in your children's name so you don't have to pay, or so you don't have the government take your money when you die, that's a lie. You're lying. But the greater truth is that my family gets the money that I've earned. My family gets that. And it might not be perfectly karmically whatever, but it's the bigger truth. So the main delineation here is that if you want to, that in your unconditional part of your life, telling the truth to the best of your ability and in line with your integrity is the best possible thing you can practice. But in other aspects of your life, which is probably common for a lot of people, you're playing a game. You are involved in a game, and it's okay to bend the rules of that game, so long as the outcome is something that internally you are aligned with and you feel okay with. And you feel like, if I got to this outcome and I bent the rules of this game as I understand them, and it brought me here, then I'm okay with that. I will play that game. So that's the main thing. I just thought that was an important delineation, because it's not self-evident, at least not for me at the age of 29, that truth is something that doesn't necessarily have to be rigid and is a subjective experience that needs to be leveraged in different ways in different parts of life. Yeah. Okay. Bye.